boys and girls, welcome back for this week's art lesson. We're going to be creating our backgrounds for our cupcakes. So I have a few items here. I have a piece of white paper. It's actually 9 by 12. You could probably use a printer paper if that's all you have at home, or you can come and get drawing paper up in the office. It's 9 by 12. I also have a piece of scrapbook paper that I found that was left over from student artwork that was in here that we had used before, and I will actually cut some of these and have them available up in the front because I found a lot of extra stuff. So I will have them up there. We're going to use this on our paper, and this is actually half of a doily, but you could use half a napkin. You could use half a piece of paper and create your little napkin. I actually found this whole pack of paper doilies at Dollar Tree, and then I just took one doily and I cut it in half. But I am going to get some more of these and put them up in the front too, so if you need one, we're going to be using all of these. And of course your cupcake, this is mine now cut out. So I'm actually going to take my white sheet of paper first, and it's going to be vertical, boys and girls, so it's not turned like this. You want it up and down like this so your cupcake has plenty of room. And I'm actually going to write my name on the back, and I want to make sure that I put my grade level, and this is my second and third graders, so I'm going to put second, and if your teacher is Rodriguez, you're going to write the name Rodriguez on there, so that way if you bring me your artwork, I know who it belongs to, boys and girls. So the very first thing is I want to create my paper so that I have a background and a foreground, because in that foreground is going to be actually my table. It's what my cupcake's going to be sitting on, and then this is going to be the background, which is going to be where, like, the wall that is behind your cupcake. And that's where this little paper comes in handy. You can use other paper too, boys and girls. You could use wrapping paper, construction paper. You could even color your paper on there. You could draw a line across and create your horizon. This right here is going to be glued down to this paper on here, just like this. And right where they meet, this line right here is called my horizon. And this is actually what separates, and this is going to be my foreground. This is the table, like a tablecloth right now that my cupcake is sitting on. And this is the background, where it's basically the sky or the wall behind my cupcake. Just like if you get a picture, you have the backdrop, that's the backdrop behind my cupcake. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper that I have, the one that has the scrapbook paper. You can use anything you want on this. You just have to decorate it so that it looks different from the background. So I'm just using maybe glue because it seems like it's not working at first. I'm just using some glue, and I'm tracing the outline of it so that it's gonna stick on there. I don't want to put just a dot of glue in the middle because then it's gonna be flapping up. And then I want to make sure that I put it all the way at the bottom of my artwork, boys and girls, so that it's not hanging out down here. And then I'm going to take my hand and just kind of rub it out flat like this, and I'm going to hold it down and count to 20 so that I make sure that my paper is going to stay on there. I don't want my paper flopping up because then it makes my artwork look like it's not done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that doily that we were talking about, and it's actually, like I said, cut in half. So if you have a sibling or somebody, they could do it also and they could share. But we're going to put it right here where it lines up with that horizon that we created so that we can glue this on here. This is like the napkin or plate that your cupcake's sitting on, so it's not just sitting on the table. So I'm going to take and put a little bit of glue on this as well, or you can use a glue stick on these parts too, boys and girls. My glue stick broke and I didn't have it anymore, so I was using the glue bottle. But I don't want to use too much because then it's going to ooze out everywhere, so I don't have very much on there. Then I'm going to take it again and I'm going to line it up with that horizon line, and then just gently lay it down and press it down so that it's not flopping up either, boys and girls. So now I don't want this white background. I'm actually going to decorate it, and if you wanted to use a colored piece of paper, you could do that as well. I'm actually choosing to use lines and patterns. Remember, a pattern is something that repeats. So I'm actually going to use my colors of my rainbow. So I'm going to grab out my red, and I'm going to grab out my orange, and I'm going to grab out my yellow and my green. Let's see, we can find green in here. I have green, and I have, ooh, there's my indigo. Hold on, we need blue in here. So I'm going to find all the colors of the rainbow, blue, indigo. They kind of look similar, so when you're looking for a crayon, and if you don't have an indigo, you can always use your blue and your purple together. And then I'm going to find my violet, also known as purple. So, and you don't have to do it this way, boys and girls. I am using, you can decorate it how you want, but just think about what actually would look good with your cupcake artwork. So, and we want to add lots of color. So I'm going to actually take and make patterns and lines, one of our elements of art, and color to my background. So I'm going to do that before I glue my cupcake on, so that way I make sure I get it everywhere and it's balanced. So I don't want to have too much over here and not enough over here. So the first thing I'm just going to start doing is I'm going to make dots, but I don't want to do a dot and go like this, because then my dots look messy. So I'm actually going to make my dot, and I'm going to color it in so that it looks nice and pretty. But I also want to do some dots that are different sizes. I'm going to fix that one. So I'm going to make, see, I made one smaller, one bigger. I actually do like the way it looks when you do different sizes. So right now I'm just going to make some red dots, but then I'm going to make some other colors using all my colors of my rainbow. I would like to see the colors of your rainbow somewhere in your artwork, whether it's in your foreground, your background, or even in your cupcake. I want to see the colors of the rainbow, and maybe you can explain to me where you put your colors of your rainbow, boys and girls. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, purple. I did some red dots, and I could do all dots on this, but remember I said I wanted to use different lines and shape and color within my artwork. So I'm also going to come in with my orange and maybe add a few triangles. So I'm actually going to be using shape in this project, and I'm just going to add so it looks like little confetti. I'm not making them too big, but I'm also making sure that I color them in. I don't want to make them and leave them like this all over my artwork, because then it looks like you didn't finish your art project. So I'm going to make sure that I color in my pieces. So you can see here, I also have my paper turned. A lot of people want to work over their artwork like this, and you're putting it in the glue. So I actually turn my paperwork over. I've used now the color yellow in my artwork. Remember, you have to include the rainbows somewhere in your artwork, and like it could be the background, the foreground, or in your cupcake. I'm doing mine in my background, and so I've used my crayons to add these, and I'm just doing different lines and shape. So I have circles, I have triangles, I have a wavy line, and I can go in with my other colors and do some more lines and shapes. Okay, boys and girls, let's see if Mrs. Schaaf met the challenge. I have red, I have orange, I have yellow, I have green, I have blue, I have indigo, and I have purple. I have covered my entire background. I think it's well balanced, which means I don't have everything over here and bald spots over here. I have it kind of spread out evenly and balanced. So try to do that, boys and girls, and get yours done. But the last step that we need to do is we actually need to glue our cupcake on. So I'm gonna flip over my cupcake here, and I'm gonna trace the outline of my cupcake on the back, but I'm not too close to the edge. The reason I do that is so that I try to get all my edges glued down and not something popping up. So now that I do that, I also want to make sure that when I glue it on, that I glue part of it onto my foreground and part of it onto my background, so it looks like it's sitting on the table. And then I'm going to hold it down, and I'm going to count to 20 so that I get that nicely glued down onto my artwork, and then it's not popping up. If you notice, the only thing I have popping up is the cherry top over here, the little stem, and I like that because it's giving it a little bit of effect of 3D effect. but the rest of it should not be popping up off your paper. Once you're done, take a picture of it and make sure you send it to me so you can get credit. But also, boys and girls, I have been hanging up student artwork in the hallways who have dropped it off for me. Please make sure you drop it off so that I can hang these beautiful art pieces up in the hallway. It really makes our hallways look bright and colorful. I hope you guys had fun with this. Have a great week, boys and girls. Bye.